Hey, what's going on? This is Harry Bailey representing Harry Lion Comics, and I'm here to talk about NXT No Mercy. Now, for starters, that intro to the pay-per-view was phenomenal. The way they actually included kind of the elements to the old school No Mercy game, that was badass. And then when it showed press start right before the pay-per-view started, kudos to NXT on that. Now, the pre-show match between Blair Davenport and Kaylana Jordan was a showcase for Kaylana Jordan to kind of step up and step into the spotlight to kind of show that, hey, I belong here in NXT. And Blair Davenport, we all know about her. She came in, did her thing, but it was more to show the athleticism of Kaylani Jordan. But in the end, Blair Davenport did like a Falcon's Arrow into a slam and won the match. I'm going to give that match an up. Now, the first match on a No Mercy card was Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. That match was hard-hitting. It was big man slapping man meat the way Big E always says. And yes, it was phenomenal. The match started off with Braun Breaker flipping over the ropes onto Baron Corbin. And then it spilled to the outside. Then it came back into the ring area. And then Baron Corbin pretty much slammed Braun Breaker into the freaking announce table. That poor announce table. I think I should start a counter for that. I mean, it's going to be a lot. But in any case, the match ended when Victor Stone came from the back, went to do a crossbody, which seems to be like the move of the year so far. He did a crossbody on Braun, and Braun picked him up and threw him over the ropes onto the security guards. And then, of course, Baron Corbin, he capitalized and hit him with the end of days. Baron Corbin gets the victory, and let's see where this goes from here. Oh yeah, that's right. The match definitely gets it up. That match was phenomenal. You don't have to adjust anything. As you can see, I changed shirts. All right, so I am here to talk about the NXT North American Championship between Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio, versus Trick Williams. Now, all week, Trick Williams was saying, look, my boy got a title. He is the NXT Heavyweight Champion. I don't have a title. I need a title because I'm him. And Trick Williams went out and did just that. He defeated Dirty Dom. There was a lot of bells and whistles. And it did kind of tell a story. It did tell a story with the fact that it was more about the story between Dragon Lee and Dom, more about Trick Williams. It kind of felt bad that he kind of was, left in the background. Even though he became the champion, it seemed like, okay, let's take the title off of Dom and let's put it on Trick and let Dom and Lee continue their rivalry on the main roster. But either so, it was a decent match. It was a decent match. It was more about Dom just trying to get away from Trick. Trick being this this strong person, this up and coming person, because he's been due. He's been building. He's been paying his dues in the business. And yeah, it was just more about Trick showing off his strength. Eventually, the Dirty Tricks caught up to Dom because Dom was trying to hit Trick Williams with the belt. Trick Williams hit him with the pop-up knee, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. Dragon Lee made the count, by the way. And we got a new NXT North American champion, and I give this match an up. I can't even speak right now because that NXT Fatal 4-Way match was beyond words. D'Angelo and Stacks retained against OTM, the Creed brothers, and Angel and Alberto. It was a really solid match from beginning to end. I don't know if that knee injury with D'Angelo was scripted or not, but he came back later in the match after his boy Stacks was holding it down by himself, which told a good story. It showed that Stacks was loyal. It showed that Stacks had the fight in him to hold on enough for D'Angelo to come back. Umberto and Angel pretty much were the highlight for me because the tag team moves that they were doing, the combo moves that they were doing in the match was pretty damn awesome, especially when they did like a gory bomb / blockbuster to Stacks. That was pretty cool. Of course, the Creed brothers going out, doing Northern Lights suplexes to 2 people at once, doing the Creed bomb, and then Ivy Nile dropkicking Scripps off the steps. This match was phenomenal, and it deserves an up. And of course, D'Angelo and Stacks are still your NXT Tag Team Champions. All right, so now I'm here to talk about the NXT Heritage Cup between Noam Dar and Butch. I was about to say Pete Dunne, but we don't call him that anymore, huh? Any case, Noam Dar got the first fall in the match, and then Pete Dunne, I did it. I knew I was gonna do this. Butch got the second fall with the bitter end, and yeah, it became back to 1-on-1, an even contest, and then Butch almost won the match with a side triangle choke, which pretty much made Noam Dar kind of pass out. But it was at the end of the 4th round. Lash Legend came in and dragged him to the corner, which was pretty funny. And then Mensa came in with the water bottle and put her on his face to try to revitalize him. And then it came down to Noam Dar with a freaking brain buster on the apron. The apron. Hold on a second. Hey, I have a question to ask you. Scorpion, do you know the hardest part of the ring?
I want Sub-Zero.
Any case, let's continue on with the match. So it looked like Butch had it won. He gave Noam Dar the big boot, and then out of nowhere, Gallus beat up on Tyler Bate, and then Joe Coffey came in and clotheslined the hell out of Butch, even though he really didn't connect it. But I like how the camera just kind of like, cameraman should get paid for that. He gave an angle where it looked like he got really clotheslined. But in any case, Noam Dar is still your NXT Heritage Cup champion. Yes, I'm wearing a different shirt, all right? I like to change shirts. But that's not the main important thing here. The match between Dragunov and Carmella Hayes for the NXT Championship was probably one of the best matches of the year, in my opinion, if not the best match of the year. They left it out there. Dragunov always been one of my favorites ever since he burst onto the scene. And Carmella Hayes is a once-in-a-generation talent. Kudos to both of them. Dragunov is your new NXT champion, and I'm just a loss of words. I'm trying to gather what I watched from the match. It was just hard-hitting, athleticism at its finest. Dragunov is one of the most intense wrestlers I've ever seen. One of the nastiest moves was Carmella Hayes doing a turnaround bulldog onto Dragunov. And then Dragunov going for coast to coast. Carmella Hayes counters into the codebreaker. Then Dragunov counters that into the DVD, into the corner. And then they go left and right. It spills to the outside. And then they go back inside. And then Dragunov does a superplex onto Carmella Hayes. And then Carmella Hayes ends up getting the advantage. And then Carmella Hayes goes to the top. He never misses, but then he actually missed because Dragunov countered with a huge clothesline. Then he goes on top and delivers one of the most wicked H-bombs you'll ever see. And he becomes your new NXT World Champion. And rightfully so, because this guy is so hardworking. He's had some of the best matches in the past few years. And of course, not only this match gets an up, but I believe this match gets the golden up for this pay-per-view. Oh, excuse me, premium live event. All right, so I can't even do the main event justice. Tiffany Stratton versus Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's Championship in an Extreme Rules match was phenomenal. Another golden up. That's right, 2 golden ups for this episode. That match was crazy. I gotta look at my notes here. I can't even, it was so much to remember. So Becky Lynch started off with a kendo stick, then used a hard hat to headbutt her with. Then they went into the stands, and then Becky grabbed a chain from a fan and used it on Tiffany Stratton, which busted her open. They went back into the ring. They were going back and forth. Eventually, I'm trying to fast forward. You got to watch the match for yourself. Tiffany Stratton went off the top rope and did a swanton onto Becky Lynch, almost through a table. The table didn't break, but then she threw her back into the ring and did another swanton bomb for a close victory. But then at the end of the day, Becky Lynch, with a manhandle slam on the chairs to Tiffany Stratton, did it for her. She won the match, 1, 2, 3, and Becky Lynch is still your NXT Women's Champion. But there were no losers here. Both of them were winners in my book. It was an extreme match. It was a great match. And overall, this premium live event gets an up. Now, this is Harry Bailey representing Harry Lion Comics. Check out the other episodes that I have, and I'm out.